Welcome to Greenetics videos. Today I'm going to share with you the top 10 ways which people mess up seedlings. Actually, I can tell you I've done probably 10 of these mistakes already. So we learn from our mistakes, so don't give up. Okay, so the first mistake is planting your seeds in potting soil only. This may sound strange, but potting soil is just a sterile medium for seed germination. Most of them don't contain any nutrients. So how do you know this is the cause of your problem? Well, if you use potting soil only, at first your seeds will germinate just fine, as the seed itself contains nutrients in the form of nutritive tissue called the endosperm. The problem comes in when this nutrient reserve is used up, and this is usually when the true leaves start appearing and that rapid growth stops. This, however, can be fixed by using a liquid fertilizer like fish emulsion or worm tea. But if you're lazy like me and don't have time to be making liquid fertilizers, just premix your potting soil with worm castings or compost or another nutrient source, and this will grow them to transplanting stage. The second mistake is planting your seeds in just regular garden soil. So garden soil contains many things including plant diseases. Also, it is just too heavy for seed germination in a tray. It tends to hold moisture for too long and is susceptible to compaction, especially if it contains a lot of clay soil. So no matter how cheap you are, it is not worth the risk. Just don't do this. There is a reason why potting soil was made. The third reason is sowing your seeds too deep or too shallow. The key to this is not to do it in the first place. The depth at which you should plant your seeds are usually shown on the seed packet. However, a good rule of thumb is planting your seeds 2 times the thickness of the seed. The seed depth is actually very important. Believe it or not, some seeds actually need light to start germination and some need darkness. And if they don't have these factors, they may just not germinate at all. Or if they do germinate, they will struggle to reach the surface. Also, if you plant them too shallow, they will grow and just fall over. One seed, for example, is basil seeds. These seeds actually need light to germinate. When we sow them here, we just sprinkle the seeds on the soil surface and a light covering with soil. If you do it any other way, they will just not germinate. The third mistake is overwatering. So plants need 3 things to grow: air, water, and nutrients. If seeds are given too much water, it will rot and fungal conditions will occur. Also, if the seed has germinated and become a seedling, and the soil is oversaturated with water for a prolonged period of time, it will replace the air pockets in the soil. The roots won't be able to breathe and they will rot. To avoid this mistake, water your trays in the mornings and only when the soil surface is dry. The fifth mistake is compacting the soil too much. Seeds need loose soil conditions to germinate and push up through the soil surface. Avoid this mistake, never push soil down in the tray if you need the soil to be leveled. Instead, lightly drop the tray and let gravity level it out. The seventh mistake is using used potting soil or dirty trays. This is never a good idea, as you never know what diseases that soil or tray may contain. I know it may look like a cheaper option as soil is expensive, but it is not worth your seed not germinating. And if the plants do germinate, they can get fungal diseases such as damping off, which rots the stem of the plant, making them unusable. If you reach this far in the video, don't forget to do this thing here. Really helpful. The fifth mistake is planting your seedlings out too early or taking too long to plant them out. So we all know the bigger the plant is, the higher the survival rate. If your plant looks big at the top, but when you take it out of the tree, the roots are falling apart as they do not fill out the tree. They are not ready to be transplanted as yet. On the other hand, if the roots filled out the cell, then you don't have long before all the nutrients have been used up in the soil, or it can't hold enough water to supply the plant for a long time. In this instant, transplant the plant to a bigger tray or put it in the ground. The eighth mistake is not having enough light. Plants need light for photosynthesis, and some seeds need it to germinate. As the seedlings pop out of the soil, they will be seeking light and will grow towards it. At this time, you need to ensure that your light is directly above plants. If the plants are too far away from the light, they will have to stretch towards it, and it will cause them to get leggy, which renders them unusable. If you're growing them outside, make sure they are under a covering which disperses the light evenly, so there will be no uneven growth in the seedling canopy. The ninth mistake is not thinning out your seedlings. The space in one cell of a tray is for one plant. If you leave more than one plant in a cell, they will compete for nutrients and light, stunting them both. To avoid this mistake, thin them out as soon as they appear or as soon as you start seeing true leaves. The 10th mistake is using expired seeds. I know you spent a lot of money on them, but hear me out. The seedling packet always has a date when the seeds were last germinated or tested. Some seeds are viable longer than others, and with a little research, you can find out how long each pack of seeds are valid. For example, if you know anything about lettuce seeds, they don't stay viable for a long time, and usually, if they are older than a year, most will not germinate, while something like cucumber or tomato seeds are viable for up to 2 years. If you have no other choice but to use old seeds, it's always a good idea to overseed them. Just an update, these are the kale plants from the first video. How to grow kale from seed? The link is in the description if you're interested. These are some trees that we plant the other day. This is pepper, basil, lettuce, kale, another lettuce. Each of these trees have a video, so look out for those videos. So thank you for watching. Have a good one.